Welcome to Study Loop.
Hello students, in this question we are being given a graph which shows the change in the lengths of two microtubules, short microtubule and long microtubule with the time. Now the question asked is which time point, whether T1 or T2, which are represented here, corresponds to the catastrophe for both microtubules. And another question asked is which trace corresponds to a microtubule with greater dynamic instability. So now let's first find out which time point among the two T1 and T2 belongs to the catastrophe for both microtubules. So a catastrophe is a sudden transition from growth to shrinkage, and in this graph we can see that this would be represented by a sharp change in the slope from positive to negative. So at T1 both microtubules are growing, as we can see here and here. Both the microtubules are shrinking because the graph comes from the positive, or graph changes in the slope from positive to negative. In both cases it's going downward, and at time point 2, which corresponds to these 2 points, the graph goes up from negative to positive. So T1 point corresponds to the catastrophe. So T1 time point corresponds to catastrophe for both the microtubules because the growth is negative at this time point because graph is going down. Now coming to the another question, which trace, whether T1 or T2, or sorry, whether microtubule A or microtubule B corresponding to these two time points undergo greater dynamic instability. As we can see that the greater dynamic instability will correspond to that microtubule which shows a steep downfall or a steep negative slope. As we can see, in case of the microtubule B, the slope is steeper than the microtubule A. So we can say that the trace corresponding to a microtubule with greater dynamic instability is microtubule B. So the question among the given options, the option which is correct is option B, which says that T1, because T1 corresponds to the catastrophe for both the microtubules, and microtubule B, because there is greater instability in microtubule B. I hope you found the video useful. Thank you.